What's good, guys? It's Joseph, and today we do have a Blender tutorial. We're going to be basically throwing a logo inside of Blender, making it 3D so you guys can use it for any type of animation or whatever the case may be. We're going to do it very easily using a vector program. Today we're going to be using Illustrator for that. If you have a different one, it should have the same settings, and you can do the same thing with that, and then hopefully this will work out for you. But let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be starting in Illustrator, and then we're going to move this file over to Blender, and then we're going to make it 3D. Normally you'd use this for any logo that's kind of like a, like say for example the phase logo. It's just like an F that you can have, the path. You can throw the path for that in Blender. This wouldn't really work too well with the mascot logo, although you might be able to pull it off with a little extra, steps. But I don't really have a logo I'm going to work with, so I'm literally just going to draw a smiley face, and then we're going to call it a day because I don't really feel like getting a logo and dragging it over into Illustrator. So we're just gonna go with it. There we go. That's my smiley face that we're gonna be working with. That's fine. So this is what we got. It's a vector. If you had, a PNG of a logo you wanted to use, you can drag it in here, image trace that thing up, and turn that into a vector. But this is a pretty cool logo that I think will work for, for us. I think it'll be fine. I don't imagine having any problems with this one. Okay. Hope you enjoy. There you go. So now that I got my logo, I'm just going to go ahead and get it ready to import into Blender. So if I wanted to do that, I'm going to go ahead and go to File. We're going to go to Save As. And then when it says Save as Type, make that an SVG. It's a scalable vector graphic. It's compatible with Blender. And so I'm just going to save this to my desktop as smiley logo, and that's it. So now I've saved it, everything's ready to go. I can go ahead and exit out of Illustrator with that scary looking logo, and we're gonna go straight into Blender. I'm gonna get rid of the light camera and the cube because we're only gonna be showing you guys how to import the SVG and then make it 3D, and then that's pretty much it. I might do some other tutorials in the future on how to actually, use it and how to make stuff with it, but this is just kind of like a beginner tutorial because I've never really done Blender on this channel before, so we're gonna just go step by step as a beginner would. So we're gonna go ahead and go to File, Import a Scalable Vector Graphic or an SVG. If you have any other of these files, Scalable Vector Graphic is basically the only one that I would ever use to import a logo in here. It's a lot easier than having to draw it in the program because I've done that before with Blender and it doesn't work as well as it should, or as well as I think it should. So this is the best option, I think, for importing a logo in Blender, or just using a logo with Blender in general. So you go ahead and select Scalable Vector Graphics, navigate to wherever you saved it. So I saved mine on the desktop, for example, as smiley logo. So I went ahead and clicked that, import that. You realize you don't see anything. That's because it's very small. And so there's my little smiley logo. I'm just going to go ahead and highlight everything because you can see they're all different pieces. So you want to highlight everything and press Ctrl J or Object. Go to Object up here and join it. And so now they're all together. And then so then after that, you want to go ahead and click it. So it's active, and you want to go to Object, because if I wanted to move this around, the origin point's right here, and if I were to rotate it or anything, it would rotate around that origin point, which is connected to the 3D cursor, and that's not what we want. So we want to we want to click this. We want to go to Object. We want to set origin to geometry. And so that's going to set it to the middle of whatever it is. So now you go. There you go. So now we can take that. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to make sure that's selected. I'm going to press S on my keyboard and just scale that thing up so it can actually be visible in our normal view here. And there you go. That's how you get a logo into Blender. If you want to make it 3D, I'm going to move this up a little bit. And you can see it's like literally as two-dimensional as you can get. So with it selected, you want to go into these modifiers, add a modifier, go to solidify. And so that's going to make it 3D. And if you go into the settings, you can go make it thicker. You can play around with all of this. You can right click it, shade smooth if you want, shade flat, but that's after you add more to it, you know, like a subdivision surface. If you really wanted to mess around with that, but I don't really think you would need to, so I'm just going to delete it. But you can add a whole bunch of different stuff to it, make it look however you want, model it, maybe give it a bevel. I'm literally just showing you how to get the logo in here. And maybe in another tutorial we can model it and make it look a little bit different. But I don't want this to be like a super long video. I just want it to be quick to the point, because this is like something that I couldn't figure out how to do for the longest time, because I couldn't really find a video that showed it. And I just didn't know anybody, and I was just like, man, like I really need to get a logo in here so I can use it. But that's how you do it. If you guys have any questions, I'm learning Blender myself, so I might be able to help you out. I might be able to direct you to anyone who could answer, or to a website or something. But other than that, that's all I really got for today's video. Sorry it's a little shorter, but I hope you guys learned something, and I hope to see some great 3D skills from you guys. I'd love to check out your content whenever you send it to me on either Twitter in the comments. But hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.